for them. I mean, there's the unemployment and the drug scene. Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking of Tony.
Oh, that's all right. Tony's fine. I think he's going to stay on the straight and narrow for the rest of his life. He had one hell of a scare.
Well, it took guts to go to the police the way he did.
Guts he's got. He's just a little bit light on common sense.
They all are at that age. He's just lucky he had you to back him up. I've always been sorry for Bea Smith. She was in jail when the pushers took her girl. She couldn't do a thing.
Yeah, well, Tony is in a slightly different situation.
It's not always easy to judge your own. I remember my son, Marty, used to resent Wentworth. Bill and I always tried to convince him that he came first. Trouble was, there was never enough time to convince him.
Yeah, well, I intend to give Tony all the time he needs.
And that's all you have to say. You don't know. You attack a pregnant woman and you don't know why. Do you often have impulses like this? We are hoping Latham will pull through. If she does, it'll be no thanks to you.
Please, miss.
Well?
We weren't after her.
Then Sharon Gilmore was the target.
Guess so.
You guess so. Why? Did you have a grudge against her?
No, miss.
You just did it for the exercise?
No, miss. I don't like exercise.
Somebody put you up to this. Who was it?
I don't know.
Very well. All I can do is make sure you think twice before you try this sort of thing again. You will each have 48 hours in solitary, during which time perhaps you might come up with a few ideas. Let's hope one of them keeps you out of trouble in the future. Take these women back to solitary. Tell Miss Bennett I will see Smith.
Normal. Normal, too. And your contractions have stopped, haven't they?
Yeah, that's right.
You know, you're a very healthy young woman. It beats me how you got in this position in the first place.
Well, I got a fist in the belly, didn't I? That could have helped.
Good Lord. I thought it was an accident. You mean you were attacked?
Yeah, 3 of them. They were after Sharon Gilmore, see? Only I was the poor bloody mug that got in the way.
And what had the Sharon done?
Drugs. She was in for pushing.
But she surely wouldn't have been the first to be in for something like that, would she?
Yeah, but it was Bea Smith set her up. Bea's the muscle. She can't stand pushers.
What's Bea in for?
A couple of murders.
Good Lord, fantastic. Murders. That she can stand, but pushers she can't.
Yeah, well, they got her kid when she was in stir. She was just a young kid, you know, didn't know no better. Jeez, if any pusher gets within a mile of my kid...
Are you going to bring her up yourself?
Oh, yeah. She ain't got an old man. But that's better, see? No one to bash her up or drag her into bed.
You've got some very strange ideas on fatherhood, Chrissy.
Yeah, well, depends what you're used to, doesn't it?
I suppose it does.
It's just going to be her and me. She's not going to go wrong, Doc. Because I know what can happen. I'm going to be watching her. She's going to be pretty and clean and smart at school. I suppose Bea Smith said that once. Oh, still, it's her own fault. I'm not going to make the same mistakes. I'm not going to be on the inside when my kid needs me.
I know you didn't do it, but you did organize it.
Why should I?
Well, for one thing, she threw soup in your face.
Maybe her hand slipped.
That's not what you said at the time. I might have known you'd retaliate.
I could be getting soft in my old age.
Unlikely. I hold no brief for Gilmore Smith. She's a particularly vicious young woman. But punishing her is not your responsibility. You realize Chrissy Latham is in hospital because of this.
How is she, Mrs. Davidson?
We're hoping she'll pull through. But that does not let you off. I've tried everything with you, Smith. I've tried punishing you, no result. I have even attempted patience and reason, no result. I shall just have to put you where you can cause no further harm. You are to be sent to the isolation block.
But no one gets sent there.
You are certainly the first inmate I have sent to isolation, but I can see no other alternative. I suggest you use the opportunity to do some very serious thinking about your past behavior and attitudes.
But how long am I going to be there?
Indefinitely.
Busy?
Busy enough.
What are these supposed to be?
There'll be moccasins eventually.
I doubt it.
Pardon?
You won't get these women to work without B. Smith.
B. Smith is right behind me. She'll get them working.
From the isolation block? What's she going to use? Telepathy?
Isolation?
It's put paid to your pet project, hasn't it? These women won't lift a finger without B. Smith.
What's she doing in isolation?
You'll have to ask the governor that.
I will.
Good luck with Mrs. Davidson. I'm sure she's very anxious for your point of view.
Oh, well, better call a taxi.
Oh, I think we can manage with that one.
Yeah, it's not much, is it?
It's not far to go.
Fair enough. Ah, could have been worse, could have been solitary.
You do know the difference, don't you? I mean, solitary can be for 2 weeks, even more, but at least you can plead your case before the VJ. Isolation can be forever. There's nothing to do there. No work and no one to talk to.
Peace and quiet at last. I'll be able to catch up on my reading.
And you're thinking?
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought you'd like to know. Chrissy's baby's going to be all right.
Yeah, I know, thanks.
Oh, I don't understand you, Bea. Why couldn't you have left Gilmore alone?
After what she's done?
Look, you've got to stop being a lone avenger. It doesn't get you anywhere.
I can't forget what happened to Debbie.
I'm not talking about forgetting. I know that's just about impossible. But we can't change what's happened, Bea. Whatever we do, we can't bring them back. It's just a fact.
Yeah. Well, we better get a move on.
Mrs. Davidson, please give her another chance.
You are new here, Mr. Reed. You do not know how many chances I have given her.
She'll only degenerate in isolation. It'll make her worse.
I have no alternative. Whilst there are pushes being sent to this prison, and there will be more, Smith cannot be relied upon to behave herself. Whilst she has access to the laundry, dining room, the dormitories, I cannot protect the women from her.
And I cannot rehabilitate her from isolation. She needs to be actively involved, communicating.
And causing trouble.
Not if she's handled properly. She's not a vicious woman. She's a woman with enormous energy. She gets bored into mischief. Now, if I can channel that energy into something constructive...
It has been tried before, and it has failed. Believe me, her violence is not motivated by boredom. Prisoners are still beaten up by her or at her command. And I am the one who has to explain the casualties to the department.
Mrs. Davidson?
No, Smith goes to isolation and she stays there.
Where she'll be no good to anybody. But handled properly, kept in the mainstream of the prison, she could be very useful to all of us.
Useful to you, perhaps. I know how important this radio project is to you, Mr. Reed, but you will have to raise the money without the help of B. Smith.
There's that little creep now.
Just ignore her.
Hello, Bea. Going somewhere?
Here, had a close shave.
Pulling you out, are they? Like a rotten tooth. Shut up, Gilmore.
Don't you forget I've got friends.
You won't have when they find out you killed Chrissy's baby.
That's enough, Gilmore.
You told me the baby was okay.
They're both okay.
Why isn't she back then?
She will be.
I heard it was a 50-50 chance.
You heard nothing, you poisonous little bitch. You made it up.
Move along, Bea. Just you remember, just because you're on remand doesn't mean you can't be put in isolation. With B.
I'd like to see you try.
Now, there's no need to panic, my dear.
Oh, I knew you were lying, you bastard.
Now, the pains have started again, have they?
Yes.
Deep contractions this time?
Yes.
Intervals?
Every 5 minutes, Doctor, and the membranes have ruptured.
Now, listen, I'm going to examine you to make sure. Nurse, it looks as if the baby is really on its way this time.